Hey guys, it's Amber from the Video Inspiration team, and I'm sharing quick and easy color blocking cards. Welcome back to another episode of Color Connection with Amber, where I'm going to feature card designs using the color palette from the June 2020 Altenew Inspiration Challenge. This month it's hosted by JC from our Video Inspiration team. Today I'm going to be using Apothecary Labels stamp set. This is a 4x6 stamp set with fabulous images. Watercolor frames. This is an older set, but you can see that it's well loved from my collection. We'll use that stamp on the top right. I'll also be using whimsical flowers and quotes. This has some fantastic sentiments in it. I love the style of them. I just think that they're so fun. I'll be using Pattern Power for a geometric card. This is a great set for masculine cards. This one stamp, you rotate it in 3 different directions to create the layering, which is unique. And I'll use a small leaf cluster from Wild Flora. This is one of my favorite sets, so it's easily accessible, and so I just grabbed it for this little leaf cluster as well as the coordinating die. So let's get started. I have one of these stamps from the Watercolor Frame stamp set, and I have Sand Dunes ink here. So what I'm going to do is some really quick color blocking down the center of this card. I wanted the top edge to be about 1 inch away, so I started it approximately 1 inch down. Then I'm going to shift my cardstock up. Now here I'm just testing where I need to put the next 2 stamps so that I have the same amount of space top and bottom. So I'm just kind of testing this, moving this around. 1 inch was a little too much, so like 7 to 8 inch increments seem to be better. So I have the cardstock positioned at about 7/8, and I'm inking it up with Rocky Shores Crystal ink. And of course you can change up the look of this if you wanted to go with darker browns or different shades or a different color family. And then for my last stamp, I'm going to use Teal Cave. Now, initially with this card design, I was thinking I would leave it as simple as this, just, these color blocks down the center and then a sentiment in the middle. And I was thinking I would actually do sentiment strips, like a couple different stacked sentiment strips. So that's another design that you could use. But ultimately, I decided that I wanted to have some florals around it. So I thought the whimsical flowers and quotes would be perfect. Now, I didn't originally plan to do this, so I was excited that the rectangle of color blocking in the middle fit perfectly. You've got a little over stamp into the color blocking, which I think looks great. I even think you could spread these color blocks out a little bit to get a little more of that. So here I'll go ahead and stamp a sentiment just right in the center of the color blocking, and that card is done. Now, for whatever reason, that flower on the bottom didn't want to stamp very well, so I ended up using a fine liner pen just to fill in a few of those lines. Here's the finished card. If you don't have the Watercolor Frames stamp set, you could do a similar technique like this with your watercolors. So you could grab your Altenew watercolors and create these color blocks as well too, and you get beautiful blending in between those colors. So that might be something you want to try. Moving on to the next card, I have Teal Cave and the Pattern Power stamp set loaded into my MISTI. And I want to stamp this just slightly off the page. You can see I've got blue ink already all over my fingers. I can't help but get the blue inks all over me. And then they're there for a day or two. They take a while to come off. I don't know if that happens to you guys. But I'll go ahead and stamp this down, and then I'll take it out. I'll make sure I clean it really well because I want to place that same exact stamp down, but you're just going to rotate it. And then you'll get these vertical lines lined up with the point of the previous stamp. And I'm going to stamp this twice in Sand Dunes. So I didn't want this to be a really dark brown. I wanted it to stay pretty light, so that's why I decided to do 2 layers of the Sand Dunes rather than one of the darker browns. And I'm going to only stamp this twice because I want the other part of this pattern to remain white. I wanted to keep a lot of white space and airiness on this card. Here I've stamped Apothecary Labels in Dewdrops ink and added a sentiment in Obsidian Black after it was completely dry. I stamped and die cut 3 of those leaf clusters from Wild Flora and popped those up with some foam squares. I added a few embellishments and this card was done. So really quick and easy color blocking that you can do with your stamps. Or like I said, you can try some watercoloring as well. I hope you guys enjoyed these projects today. Thank you to JC for providing us with this beautiful color palette. Be sure to enter your projects into the June 2020 Inspiration Challenge. I'll have a link to that as well as supplies listed down below.
Hello crafters, Jen here. For more tips, techniques, tutorials, and to discover which paper crafting products are right for you, subscribe to Altenews YouTube channel. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Thanks for watching.